I would, but I have a mortgage. I would, but I have debt. I would, but I can't afford for it to not work right now. And I understand all of that genuinely, but I want to challenge the assumption sitting underneath all of that, because most people aren't saying I can't do this. They're saying I can't afford to take the risk right now. And those are two completely different problems. One is about capability, the other is about strategy. Here's what I've noticed through working one-on-one with so many high achievers who are building their escape plan from corporate. When people feel financially exposed, aka they've got mortgages, dependents, debt repayments, they tend to do one of two things. They either wait and they tell themselves they'll start building when things settle down, when the debt's cleared, when there's more breathing room, which sounds reasonable, except things never really settle down, do they? They just change shape. The mortgage gets paid off and the kids then need to go to university, or the debt clears and then something else comes up. Waiting for financial calm to build a plan is a strategy that never really gets executed. Or they go too fast. They're so uncomfortable with the constraint that they make a move before there's really any evidence. So they leave before they've built anything. They take risks that the numbers don't actually support, and then it doesn't work, and then they end up more locked in than before. But your mortgage doesn't mean you can't build additional income. It means the income you build in the early stages needs to be lower risk, faster to revenue, and targeted at a number that actually moves the needle for your situation. That changes the architecture completely. It means that you're not starting with the most ambitious version of the plan. You're starting with the version that fits inside your current financial reality and builds evidence while you're still employed. Something that turns your existing expertise into income without requiring you to leave your stability or invest heavily upfront or bet on something that's not proven yet. You're not waiting until the obligations disappear. You're building around them. And as income builds, as you hit your first consistent month, then your second, and then you've got 3 months of data, then that plan evolves. The obligations that felt like the ceiling start to just feel like context, because you're not guessing anymore because you have evidence. And that shift matters more than people realize, because the real problem with financial pressure is psychological. When you're stretched, your risk tolerance compresses. You start to see danger everywhere. Every decision feels like higher stake than it is. And that makes it very hard to think clearly about what's actually possible. Building something small but real while you're still stable changes that internal calculation, because you're just taking a small step in the right direction. Now, this is not about dismissing what you're carrying, because a mortgage is real, dependents are real, debt is real, but the plan doesn't have to wait for the obligations to disappear. It just has to be built to work alongside them. That's what I mean by design. So if that's where you are right now, the worst thing you can do is wait for the pressure to lift before you start, because it won't. Build the plan for the life you have, not the one that you're waiting for.